Welcome to the Johnson & Johnson podcast, the only SHL podcast, hosted by myself, Darnell Johnson, and my colleague, Gabe Johnson. Gabe, why don't you go ahead and introduce our guest today?
Alright, so our guest today, probably the most important one we've had out of the two, it is our GM at Anchorage, Acsolap. So introduce yourself.
Hey, man.
Is that how you say it, by the way? Acsolap?
Yeah, is it?
Yeah, it's an acronym for a complicated system of levers and pulleys.
Okay.
Oh, it's literally the acronym for that. Oh.
Yeah, I was doing a bit of journalism.
Oh, a complicated system of levers and pulleys.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't get that first. I thought it was like a code name.
Yeah, no, I thought
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, if you look up
it seemed like a good idea at the time.
If you look up Acsolap, it's just all him at the top.
That's hilarious. Wow. A complicated system of levers and pulleys.
Man, you're famous.
Yeah, I stand corrected. I would have thought it was like, just a weird misspelling of ass clap.
Well, that kind of seems to be what it's degenerated into.
That's what it is, like, pretty much.
I'm AskClap in the SMJHL GM chat. I'm pretty sure I'm just ass in West Kendall.
Yeah, you're just ass.
I don't really mind. It's my PlayStation 4 handle as well, and over voice chat I get called all sorts of fucking weird shit by random people. So.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, believe me, I've gone by Frith for over a decade now, and I've heard some weird ones.
What? How do you say it? Is it Frithiofer?
Yeah, you're really close. Yeah, it's just a little bit longer O, so like Frithiofer.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Yeah, right. Here I am, just appropriating Viking culture.
Okay, so how about we get into the questions?
Yeah,
we got some good ones. All right. So our first question comes from Hotdog. His question is, gotta love honors bio? So guys, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, you got it, right? You gotta love honors bio.
I don't love honors bio.
Wow. More of an AP bio guy yourself?
The person or the concept?
I don't know the person. I just know that the locker room is full of gotta love honors bio.
Were you?
Yeah.
Do you remember when I found out about that, Gabe? And
No.
there was like the 10-minute like who's on first style, like me not understanding what honors bio was.
Oh yeah, that was great. We were all like trying to explain. No, the guy's name is gotta love honors.
And I was like, who the fuck?
Why do we all love honors bio?
Yeah, that was rough. That was a hell of a day.
I remember on draft day, we were all just fucking bewildered. We saw this dude's name.
Honestly, what a name,
I just love how
really.
dedicated he is.
Stavros is convinced that we should trade picks for him.
I don't think
I think he said trade, was it Primo and a third?
what is he, a goalie?
No, he's a
no
center.
Oh.
Yeah.
Really need a center?
I mean, like,
No,
at the
not really.
moment, I don't know. Like, I really hope that he comes active again, because I told Blues fan to get him to update.
You gotta love honors bio, though. I mean,
I told Blues fan to get him to update because, like, all of the Anchorage locker room wants him to. But I think he was going away on vacation, so
yeah.
we'll have to wait on honors bio.
Allegedly,
Well,
I'm not
stuff.
sure.
I don't think meme names hang around very long. I kind of got a thing against drafting people with meme names just because if you look at the league and people that kind of make it out of the SMJHL and into the SHL, like there's not a lot of meme names. There is a few. There's
a few.
Richard C. Hockelet.
Yeah,
I
Dick
think he plays
Fist.
for Calgary. Yeah, there's Dick Fist.
Thing is, like, Richard Fist sounds like a very legitimate name. It took me a while to realize it was a meme.
Oh, yeah,
I chose him in fantasy this season. He did quite well as well.
No, my dad's name is Richard, so like anytime I see Richard, I just automatically like hear Dick in my head.
You like Dick in your head?
I know a guy.
No.
I know a guy in real life whose name is Richard Johnson, and like every time I
his
see him,
name
I'm
is
like,
penis.
yeah, I'm like, geez, man, like, what a hard life, you know.
Man, I hated growing up with a last name that meant penis. Elementary school was the worst.
Wait, say that
Oh
again?
yeah, I can imagine.
Huh?
Say that school like name again.
Elementary?
It sounds we'd say like elementary.
Like, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I would say
No, but
elementary.
it just kind of hits the ear weird. You're a weird one, Gabe. That's the moral of the story here.
Oh, okay. And then also, my first name starts with the syllable gay.
Yeah,
So-
it's true. It does.
So that
Rough.
didn't help much in like early 2000s.
Yeah, man, kids were rough, huh?
Yeah, I'm so glad I'm not one anymore.
Yeah, you're barely.
I'm like just past the threshold.
I can barely remember what it was like to go to school anymore.
Hopefully, me too soon.
Yeah, school
Well,
was
you-
rough for me. I had
You got a job. That's a good start.
Yeah,
I had big ears. I still have big ears, but like when I was a kid, my ears were like fucking disproportionately large. So I got called Dumbo all the time.
Oh, wow.
no, that's definitely something Acsolap would have done. He'd probably still do that today.
But like
Call
Real-
someone Dumbo if they
real
had
life
big
cyberbully
ears.
a kid.
Yeah, yeah, probably.
Man, the internet barely existed when I went to school, so it had to be done face to face.
Yeah, yeah.
Had to be
Sure.
done. And we had to do it.
Yeah, we had to
Had
do
to
our
have it somehow.
cyberbullying in person. But yeah, like this whole Gotta Love Honors bio thing, I think it's kind of spiraling out of control. I mean, like it's very clearly a meme, but also at the same time, I'm afraid if we don't draft him at this point, like, I think the locker room might revolt.
I mean, I just wanted to come active again. It would just be like we're all gonna go crazy if we
Oh,
just
yeah.
see someday that he does his updates.
Just shows up
How
again.
much TPE does he have?
Like 193 or something like
Well, you
that.
never know.
That's not
Yeah,
bad.
we got the Reddit draft coming up. They might release them. Like,
Imagine.
Oh man, and we can just pick him up on a free.
100% pick him up.
yeah, and because he's under 200, they won't own his rights. So.
Oh shit.
Wow.
Yeah, wait,
That's
maybe we
tempting,
don't
huh?
want him to update then.
Yeah, no, don't update until we can pick him up.
I feel like this is probably the worst case scenario for Anchorage.
Wait, is this tampering?
Oh
No.
shit. Is it tampering if they're inactive?
Oh fuck! Maybe we shouldn't.
I'm not clear
Okay.
exactly what the rules for tampering are.
Restart the pod.
I wish Tom was in here. He'd tell us what's right and what's wrong.
Hops into the voice chat.
Somebody at Tom and real quick, get him in here.
Just gonna ask real quick in the chat. Oh, Gabe's already on it.
Oh wait, if you want to go ahead, do
No,
it.
it's yours, bro.
No, I was kidding. I don't think it's actually tampering.
I'm just saying.
Well, I mean,
it's
like I said, it would
discussing
be-
wanting a player over a podcast tampering.
like I said, I think it would be absolute worst case scenario that we're picking up. It would, well, for a start, it would mean that the Reddit draft was absolutely terrible.
That's true.
So, I mean, like I would expect, based on the last two Reddits, to have close to like 80 plus active players, at least at draft day.
That's insane.
Which, I mean, well, last one we went to around 13 or 14, I think. Obviously, like, I think I passed out, like I left the draft at round 9 because we'd filled all our active roster spots at that stage.
Yeah.
And then a couple of the guys that we drafted kind of went inactive pretty quickly. But we had quite a full roster, and I think most of the other teams did too.
Yeah, Reddit draft seems like a blessing and a curse.
I mean, I feel sorry for whoever picks up these kind of free SMJHL jobs, just because when I got the job, ML did the draft for me. That's the season before, and he drafted really well. So I kind of had a season to go before my first draft, which coincidentally was the giant Reddit draft.
Yeah.
But like, it gave me time to get used to the job. Like, these guys will be kind of jumping right in, and if they haven't had, I think my feeling for Kelowna is that they'll have a reasonably experienced guy take over there. I've got a good idea of who probably is going to get that job. But I don't know about Montreal, really.
Montreal is just whoever applies.
I mean, there's been talk from a couple of the other guys about stepping down as well. I know for sure there's one other team that will need a GM, although they have an active code GM as well. So
don't name them.
No, because I don't think they're supposed to be public knowledge, so I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah. Yeah, we're walking a fine line on potentially saying stuff that we can't.
Oh, speaking of saying stuff that we probably can't or shouldn't,
oh no!
What's with Izzy's podcast thing? His like podcast partnership.
I mean, I find it kind of funny that like it's something that he just did like on his own.
He just went rogue.
Like, he just kind of posted the article and was like, "Okay, sign up."
I missed this. What's going on?
I'll send it in the chat.
What? I mean, close to a week ago now? Was it Monday? Half a week? Izzy posted a thing where he's like, we're trying to get, the PT team is trying to get a partnership with a podcast to give us like a 5-minute segment, on the podcast. And I made a really aggressive pitch. I don't mean like aggressive as in like I was offering him a great package or anything. I was like, here's your fucking pitch, Izzy.
Yeah, I'm reading it now.
Yeah, so like I don't know how that's gonna work out, but no one else seems to have like even acknowledged it. Like there were a couple memes, like I think Spartan Gibbles was like, "No, you tell me. Like what's in it for me?"
I said, no, I don't really listen to a huge amount of the podcasts on the SHL apart from the kind of guys in our team. So,
truth be told, I don't listen to a lot of them either. But
I
like
don't listen to any of them.
If I see that somebody does a somebody has a what do you call it? Like some timestamps in there, I'll usually give it a listen.
That's fair, yeah.
Oh shit. Market.
I don't know. I mean, I've heard there's some good ones out there. I know Thomas listens to loads of them. Like, he definitely listens to Arcars and Joe's as well.
Oh, Joe's podcast is pretty okay. I like Joe's.
Like, I always mean to listen to them, but the thing is, it's like, when I travel to work, I'm on the underground, so I don't really get a lot of internet connectivity down there. I guess I could just download it and listen to it. But
yeah, there's that extra step.
Loud.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the only podcast like I'm in for is the Stab Hour.
Oh, that was such a...
It was so good.
That was such a fucking joke. like in a good way. Like
he's such a great podcaster.
The entire time,
just changed his mind.
The entire time he's like eating and drinking too. Is the best part.
He's kind of one of those people that drinks and then makes that sound after drinking.
My favorite was that we were playing fucking Apex, and he jumps into our chat.
Oh my god.
He jumps into the voice chat just to, like, eat a meal. Doesn't say a word. He does not say a word the whole time, but he eats, like, as loudly as possible. Yeah. Slurps his drink on occasion.
Never broke character, either. Was the most impressive part for me.
It was so funny. And then he just dipped when he finished his meal.
Guess he just wanted some light evening listening while he was
just wanted some
eating.
company.
Yeah, wanted to give us some ASMR to go with our Apex.
I mean, I had you guys on at work, but it's fucking loud and I couldn't hear much. Then my workmates started being like, what the fuck are you doing? So I kind of had to bug out. I know Thomas was listening for a while too.
Okay, wait. I know Toivo asked us some actual questions, and I'm pretty sure the rest were just memes.
Well,
Hang on. Let me pull up the questions again. Okay. Notorious Tig asks, "Do you have Giddy Up? If not, Giddy Out My Way at GWD Johnson." I think
is that someone in our locker room? No, it's Tig, right?
no, it's Tig. Yeah, Tig's a good boy. But okay, just to answer his question, Tig, you know I got Giddy Up.
I actually do not have any giddy up, so I will be giddy up and out his way.
No, it's not Giddy Up, it's just Giddy Out.
Oh, I'm sorry. Then I will be giddy out his way.
Like to make it more condensed, like it's Giddy Up, then Giddy Out.
Gotcha.
So it's like if you don't got Giddy Up, Giddy Out.
Wow.
I feel like this is one of these things that I've banned from the locker room, like Howard.
Don't ban it, please.
If you had any control of our locker room left, Acsolap, yeah, you would ban
it's
that.
All gone.
You would ban that meme on site.
It
As
all
it
ended
is,
with
the
season 48.
Inmates
I'm
are running
absolutely
the
putting
asylum.
fucking people on message timers. They're gonna give you like one message every minute.
Oh, the timeout.
I would hate that.
That would be cool.
I always react before saying something, so that would bite me in the ass. Someone would like say something about me, I'd be like, wait, and then I can't speak for another minute.
Oh, I mean, I'm guilty of that as well. I type like 2-word lines.
Yeah, you guys type sentence fragments, and then I just dump a fucking novel.
Yeah.
I mean, partly I do it because I like it when Hotdog wakes up and there's 800 plus messages to read through, but
That's true.
You went to bed early last night, Gabe, so I was gonna, and you said you were just gonna, like, Control F for the captain's log. I was really tempted last night to, like, just put in a bunch of, like every phrase I said, just make sure the word log was in it, so you couldn't Control F it.
I have to start, like, typing in words that would appear in the captain's log to try and find it. I have to start thinking about what I saw during the day that would be noteworthy for the captain's log.
The captain's log, for those who don't know, hotdog, like, summarizes everything that goes on in the Armada Discord every night, because there are, like, 2,000 messages a day. It's kind of insane.
Fuck, and now that I have full-time employment, I actually need the log.
It's great to have, even as someone who doesn't strictly need it.
Yeah, like, I don't backread at all, so I need
really? It. I mean, I backread everything. Sometimes I wake up in the morning, I'm like, oh my god.
I skim. Like, I just kind of scroll up, like, at a speed that lets me see the words without, like, processing them.
Jeez, so you, like, shitty speed read?
Pretty much. Like, sometimes I'll open it and I'll see, like, my name gets brought up, and then, like, I'll immediately ignore the rest of the back reading and respond to that.
Oh, yeah, sure, that's fair, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I get, like, halfway through back reading, and there's something I really want to talk about, and I actually have no idea how far I've missed the conversation.
Oh, man, there's nothing worse than, like, actually having an opinion on a subject, but it's, like, 4 hours
But it's gone, yeah. And then, like, you try to bring it up and no one's there anymore to talk about it. Like, oh, man.
That happens to me constantly.
I mean, the Discord is mentally active, though. Like, I mean, there are times where I put my phone down for 15 or 20 minutes or whatever, and I'm cooking dinner, and I then look at it and I'm like, it's already 200 messages.
Yeah. Then you pop back in and I'm having a mental breakdown over having to clean up garbage.
Yeah, Gabe and mental breakdowns, name a more iconic duo.
I don't think that needs to make it into the podcast.
You brought it up.
I mean, I was just saying it in passing.
Gabe and getting embarrassed about things that make it into the podcast. Name a more iconic duo. No, what's the? We'll be good. What's the next question?
Okay. So we have Toivo, who came in with 4.
My man Toivo.
So he starts off by saying, "Yo ho ho, ahoy, boat boys."
Wow. Okay.
The
That's
first he
hostile.
says, "What are your rapper names?"
Oh. Well, I'm definitely MCP Pants.
I don't think I can answer this question anymore. Man, you stole my name, dude. What the fuck? All right, old man. Have you got a rapper name?
What's rap music?
All right, Pen Knight, chill.
Coming to you later in the podcast. Okay. Next question. How would y'all make the perfect grilled cheese?
Oh.
Oh shit! I feel like you guys call something grilled cheese something different to me.
Well, it's at the base. So this is a thing. And Toivo, man, he knows how to get to to my soul. This is a thing I'm very opinionated about. A grilled cheese is.
He knows the obscure questions.
Yeah.
It's just like when you described your burger the other day. Actually, it was making me hungry at work.
A grilled cheese is 2 pieces of bread, a spread, typically butter, and cheese. If you put anything else on it, that's fine, but it's no longer a grilled cheese. It's called a melt.
I agree.
Yeah.
That is correct.
I'll fucking take that shit to the death. Like.
Although I'd go further and say that it's butter and that's it. There's no other spread that goes on there.
Yeah. I mean, that's a fair take. I'll allow it.
We're just all kind of in agreement here. So
See, you got to get the most plasticky, fake American cheese that you can get. It melts really well and it pulls.
Man, I'm watching someone cook a grilled cheese in a pan. You guys don't have like fucking toasted sandwich makers over there?
Like a panini press?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, we have them.
I use a
They're
pan.
not common, but we do have them.
I don't know. How are you supposed to get like the pressure you need to like?
Oh, spatula.
Yeah, just press it down.
Press it down with a spatula.
Wow.
Or if
It
you're a
works.
fucking heathen, you can use your fingers, but.
But it's like, I wish I could get Toivo to elaborate on what he means by a grilled cheese.
Well, I'm certain that he means a grilled cheese. You know, I watched this Alton Brown. It was on Good Eats. One time where he made a grilled cheese with like pieces of focaccia, and he did like Monterey Jack, a cheddar, and Swiss blend of cheese, and he actually like put it out on a coal grill. Man, that looked really good.
Okay.
I've always wanted to try that, but I've also, you know, I never have the. God,
I mean, I
so
love
much work.
focaccia, but it seems kind of excessive for.
Exactly, like it seems a bit
Yeah,
much.
definitely.
As the kids would say, it's a bit extra.
Yeah, I don't know. Like for me, I just like a good grilled cheese for me is like you just get it like browned all around, so that's like nice and crispy.
Oh yeah,
and then
yeah.
It's perfect.
Yeah, how do
And
you
like obviously the cheese has to be like melted totally.
Yeah, defo. You gotta have the melty cheese. You gotta have a good cheese pull. That's the defining characteristic of a grilled cheese for me.
Gotta have it so like you can pull it apart and like it just snaps back into place if you like let go.
Oh
So
god, I want a grilled cheese now. I just ate, but I'm gonna go
Same.
make one after this.
I
only
can't
have
eat
beer
any
in
more
my
food.
house.
I'm
I
soccer.
have no food. I just have alcohol. It's
Well,
terrible.
Beer is like liquid bread. So if you get a bunch of like, you know, sliced cheese in your mouth, it's like halfway to a grilled cheese.
You drink a can of beer, have a bunch of cheese, then have another can. It's basically a sandwich.
Yeah, it's basically a sandwich. In
I
some
mean, I have cheese in the fridge.
weird, fucked up universe.
All right, this next question is honestly one that it honestly feels tailored to the two of us. So, would you rather score 90 goals in one season or have 500 hits in one season?
God.
Why?
Yeah. Well, You know my answer.
Yeah, and I know mine.
Yeah.
How about we have a third party discuss
Yeah.
that question?
I mean, I would just be happy if Rex Kirby would have a better than average season.
Aw.
Okay, but would you want him to have a better than average season with 500 hits or 90 goals?
I'd probably take 90 goals. It would make me the highest scoring defenseman of all time in the SHL.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, honestly, that is kind of the thing. I'm kind of surprised myself here. The more I think about this, the more I want the 90 goals.
Yeah, I feel like Toivo didn't balance it very well.
Because like 90 goals is fucking insane. 500 hits also insane,
you know,
but
like a player can get like 250 or just under 250 hits in a season.
yeah,
Like, which is about half. Like no one's gonna score 45 goals in a season.
As a
Well, to give you an
defenseman.
idea, like Bojo's first player, Bojo Senior, I think had 96 career goals,
holy shit. And he's
96
like
career
a
goals?
legend.
and he played like 16 or 17 seasons for West Kendall.
Wait, that doesn't seem like much then.
I mean, I think he's a defensive defenseman.
Yeah,
but,
he was a
like,
defensive defenseman like Darnell.
Okay.
He's
okay.
he's like a legend, man. He's the guy that the fucking D.
well, up until last season, he was the points leader for West Kendall, and then Alex Light, which is Zoon's player, took over him. I think I've got that right, because I know EJ's previous player, Lena, had quite a lot of points for West Kendall as well. Yeah, so Bojo had 94 goals across 17 seasons,
Wow.
with 467 assists, so 561 career points
Oh,
in
okay.
858 games.
That's a good career.
That's a really good career. That's kind of my benchmark. I would like to pass that again, but kind of need to be scoring more than like 25 points a season.
You got the Tig Murphy syndrome.
I think Tig's been doing better than I have.
Tig's got 31 points this season.
Yeah, so
But
I mean,
both of you have like a lot of TPE, but like aren't quite breaking out yet.
well, I think like next season will be the first season that I have more TPE than LKS.
Right.
So I think like maybe I'll start to. Well, I hope I'll start to perform a bit better, but you never know.
Yeah. Okay, and then the last question for Toivo. I like this one. Did your SHL casino bets work out?
Oh, I didn't make any.
Damn.
Yeah.
I basically never have any money, so.
Oh,
Yeah.
did neither of you make a bet?
No.
No, I didn't.
Oh,
Bet.
damn, I'm the only one made a bet, and it worked out in flying colors.
Yeah, well, that's good.
Yeah,
Shit.
I bet on Edmonton under, because Edmonton, I believe, went into the season with an under of 32.5.
Holy shit.
Yeah, like they had like a ridiculously high one. I think it was Toman who told me yeah, that's probably your safest bet. And I think like Edmonton mathematically confirmed that with like over 10 games left in the season.
Jeez.
And I put the max amount on it, so free mill in the bank. Who the fuck just joined?
Hey guys,
Gotta
we're gonna
love
interrupt.
the
We're gonna interrupt the Johnson & Johnson podcast for a quick ad break. Today's Johnson & Johnson podcast is brought to you by Jerkin' Off.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
Oh my god, fuck's
You
sake.
ever get horny? Try Jerkin' Off. You might enjoy it. And now, back to the show. Thanks.
Oh my god.
I mean, he's got a point. Feeling horny, just give it a shot.
I mean, I can relate.
God, okay.
Strangely, hot dog sounds exactly like I mentioned him.
Oh, that was hot
For
dog?
real. Yeah.
Wow, yeah, he sounds exactly like you would think hot dog
Who'd you
sounds.
think it was?
The guy who came in the other night.
Oh, you
The
mean
Toronto
J-Fox.
Flair. J-Fox, yeah.
Oh. Yeah, no, hot dog totally sounds like I would expect him to.
God, yeah,
It's
he's
kind of funny.
like a loser.
Got him.
Boy, did we
yeah,
ever.
it's nice of him to drop in. We'll get him as guest next time.
God, now we're gonna have to pay him like 30K? How does that work?
I can't afford to keep doing all this.
Yeah, jeez, man. I'm gonna go broke with all these guest appearances.
Okay, so, well, we have only one more question. And Frith, I think you know who it's from.
Okay.
Oh god.
Yeah, we
So-
can do it. I mean,
Our lovely viewer, Pen Knight, has the question. Please rip the F dash dash out of Pen Knight on your show. Thanks! That's his question.
yeah, I don't really have anything to say about it. You know, I think I've been pretty on the fence about the whole situation. He said some despicable things, but I think community at large, myself included, because I was part of it, I think we kind of handled it poorly. And I mean,
Well,
I'll just leave it at that myself. But if you guys have a different take, by all means.
Well, okay. I mean, my first take is that he retired with 69 mil in the bank account, which is
Jesus
fucking hilarious.
Christ. That's so much.
Yeah, it's also funny.
Yeah, it is the
But-
sex number. You're right.
Yeah, that is it. But I don't know. I feel like it wouldn't have gotten as bad as it gotten if he could get it through his thick skull why his opinion was bad.
Oh yeah, no,
I think it'll like I think sure it got pretty out of hand and it got really toxic, and a few people not named Pen Knight and a few people not even on Pen Knight's side said some dumb shit. But
yeah.
I think he deserved a very strong ripping. Like,
Oh, he got one for sure. Like, no question.
and I'm saying that's not undeserved because he showed absolutely no unwillingness. He showed absolutely no willingness to see like why people are mad at his opinion in quotations, and like I just feel like it shows a lot about his character that like he could be so chill about the whole thing, and then while people are in the midst of making ripping on him for it, he calls women hookers in the NOLA Discord.
Yeah, I actually didn't know that was from the NOLA Discord. I think that got deleted, but before it got deleted, somebody.
Well, it was a Slothface who said that, and
Yeah.
I trust him to not make that up because he
Yeah.
handled the whole situation really well.
Yeah, Softface was pretty vocal about it, and I mean that's okay. You know, it was like such an outrageous thing. Like I was following the whole.
Yeah, for real. It's a bad time to be in the NOLA Discord.
I was following the whole ordeal, like start to finish at work, so I missed a lot, you know, and as much as I would have
for
liked to
real.
have been a little more active, you know, I couldn't, you know.
Shit's like popping off in your Discord and like
Oh, yeah.
everywhere, and you're like, oh, I've got work.
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel bad. It was kind of sad seeing the the like gang mentality.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we've kind of talked about this in the past in terms of the Thunderdome. Like, people question what the merits of having the Thunderdome are, but like we were speaking about before, like kind of a little bit of blood goes in the water, and then
Yeah.
there's a frenzy across the whole site, and everyone kind of gets involved. And maybe not necessarily everyone needs to be involved, but the other side of that is that I think if you don't have the Thunderdome, it kind of spills into other areas of the site.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's-
definitely.
That's a common debate that I
Definitely.
see had regarding the Thunderdome. And there's a lot of people that have mixed opinions on whether or not that would be the case.
I mean, I try not to get involved in them if I can. Like, I got enough stuff on my plate running a team
Yeah,
to
that's
kind
fair.
of not dig myself. I mean, if one of my teammates was the target of one, or one of my players was, then possibly I would consider it. But it would really depend on the situation. I mean, I know that back in the someone thundered Bad Wolf about something. We kind of went in there to defend her, but it wasn't anywhere near the extent of what happened with Pen Knight. I mean, look, I just think as someone who's probably slightly older than the majority of users on the side, like he's old enough to know better, and to kind of understand that, you know, those kind of comments, especially in the context of the internet where you can't really take any context or tone from them, it's going to land you in trouble. And it would have just been better to have kind of backed off rather than dig in. But at the same time, I completely agree with Thrift about kind of like it wasn't an atmosphere really to allow him to repent in a way, because, you know, when your back's against the wall and you've got 10 or 20 people like coming at you, like it's not really human mentality to lie down.
Yeah, that was kind of my perspective. Is I felt like, you know, there's so many people saying like, all you have to do is apologize, all you have to do is apologize, and it's like, it's really easy for someone who's being supported by literally the entire website to sit there and say like, yeah, I would apologize for sure, no question, you know. But like, to be in that situation, like, for me anyway, like, you know, again, it's like, I think slightly older than a lot of people in the SHL. I've been in situations where, like, you know, nothing like this obviously, right, but like where I've had to like defend something I've said or stuff like that, and it's really hard in the moment to objectively remove yourself and your opinions and everything from the situation and look back and go like, wow, what I said was fucked up. Your immediate instinct is to double down, and like that's in the best of situations. Where like I said something stupid to my boss at work one day. She asked me to do something I didn't want to do, and I told her I wouldn't do it. And like, could I have handled it better? Like that's paraphrasing, right? Like, it got pretty heated. Could I have handled it better? Yeah, absolutely. But like, in the moment, I knew for a fact that I was right and she was wrong, and like nothing anyone could say would convince me otherwise. And like, looking back at it now, a couple years removed, I can say for sure I handled it badly, and that was with no outside pressure. Red Knight had like 30 pages of people shitting on him in the Thunderdome, and he was being followed around the website, getting fucking memed on, and I'm sure he got private messages and stuff about it. With all that outside pressure, I can understand the guy like not feeling safe to
yeah, I think that's fair as well. Man,
you know?
The SHL's got like drama. Like, I mean, I was laughing about it in WKP like maybe a week ago, before even the first one with King came out, because one of our recruits from a couple of seasons ago was saying like, oh, I haven't seen any drama on the boards, blah blah blah. And I was saying, oh, you know, wait till off season, for sure something will come up. And then no shit, maybe 25 minutes later, I think King TD'd nobody, or someone TD'd King, and it all kind of kicked off from there. It was like 3 or 4 in a row, and some of them were kind of like meme TDs, but there was like a lot of serious stuff too. And I mean, it's the kind of, the whole situation with King is completely different, because he didn't say anything stupid, but like, there's no evidence, despite what people might say, that King used multis. And like, I've always enjoyed my interactions with King on the website, and I kind of feel like he got chased away by people who just, like, in New Zealand we call it like the tall poppy syndrome. We just cut down the tall poppies, and like, I'm not suggesting that King was better than anybody else, but like, the website basically chased away someone who was like quite a valuable user, just because I guess they didn't like seeing how successful he was. And while there was probably some slightly shifty stuff going on around him, like, I think King kind of exposed the way the recruit system was broken, rather than actually just making multis. Because, I mean, the dude's doing a PhD. I don't think he has time to like go around computer stores and create SHL players just for what, 1 or 2 TPE or whatever it was he was earning from it.
Yeah, and that was kind of the situation too. Is apparently there was like a full-on investigation done and everything, and somebody wasn't happy with the results, and like, I mean, I get it, but
it's really ambiguous whether or not King was actually investigated.
even
Because, I heard from Adamantia that there wasn't a thorough investigation into that. But then I've heard other people say that there was.
yeah,
Because a lot of the time when someone goes inactive, they won't bother carrying out an investigation in head office because, like, they're gone anyway.
right.
Well, we have one of those guys on our team. Ashburn McAllister is one of King's friends. And he basically hasn't logged on since I drafted him. I mean, he's got a semi-useful build, I guess, and I just use him as a PK specialist. And there was a few others, but we also had King's girlfriend Xena and his brother Vegeta Muerto, and like I know for a fact that those people were not King. Like I've had extensive conversations with all three of them. So, I mean, maybe there was some Maltese, who knows, but I don't think there's actually any concrete evidence that there was, despite what some people were saying.
I was kind of the opinion, like, even if there were Maltese at a point, kinda, who cares? Like, the player was retired and everything, and, he's not benefiting from it anymore.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair enough. But, he's gone now, and
Yeah.
I don't really think that he'll be back.
Yeah, we're in a post-King world.
Man, did you see this fucking article the one that I just posted in the shipyard?
No.
True story.
Wow. He put in a lot of effort into this. And
Oh no, it's Rutu.
this has caused it's drama.
I gotta take a look at it then.
Max
I
said
already
something.
know where this is going, and I've only read the first 2 lines.
Is this a new one?
It's 2 hours old.
It's
Oh,
2 hours old, but Max said something questionable in the comments, and Hamilton's locker room's calling him out on it. But yeah, this whole comic just misses the whole point.
Well, I mean, Rutu's had some fairly borderline opinions in the past. I mean, I don't have any interactions at all with him, so like I can't really speak about his personality.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, like, I don't honestly. I don't think we really need to stir the pot any more than it's been stirred.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'm happy leaving it where we're at now. I've said my piece about it. So
yeah, that's fair. The site sucks. We move on.
nah, the site
Man,
doesn't suck.
I love
It's
the
just-
site. The site's
yeah,
great, man. It's been
Yeah,
fucking-
yeah,
No,
no,
the
it's-
community's
I'm on the
great.
site, love it.
Any community has the potential to do what we did. And that's why we have to be aware of, like,
to do a big dumb.
yeah, anybody can mess up at any time. How you handle it.
I mean, if you look at it, we got 16 SHL teams, 10 SMJHL teams. Probably every team's got. They're not full rosters of active players, but the community's probably 200 plus people at least. So you're always going to have a couple of people who are a
Yeah.
bit out there. But I don't think they should detract away from like a lot of the good stuff. Man, like there's some cool content on the website.
Yeah, there is.
There's some users like whatever his name is, the Prismislav. I don't know how to even pronounce his last name. The Polish guy that plays for New England. Honestly, I love that guy's media. Like I can sit on the
Yeah,
train and
it's
just
so
laugh my
good.
head off. Like I don't care that people look at me like I'm a weirdo. And there's some of the guys that do like the advanced stat stuff, which is just way too complicated for my small brain.
Oh yeah, brought
But,
us into the 21st century.
I enjoy that too. So I don't really let like the people that want to post crazy opinions and stuff kind of detract from the rest of the website.
Yeah.
And the community as a whole is pretty cool. I like the junior GMs, like because we mostly get along pretty well together. And obviously, I like the locker rooms that I'm in, West Kendall, and I'm well biased, but Anchorage is, for me, it's the best locker room on the site. I'm not in everyone, but I doubt there's many locker rooms that are putting up like 1,500 messages a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for the locker rooms, like, I don't think people would be around. Like, if it wasn't for ML, for sure, I would have bailed out on the site a long time ago.
Yeah, definitely. Having an active locker room is, yeah, that's great. It keeps you involved. It keeps you engaged. And
Yeah,
I mean, that's
like,
important.
Yeah, like if I didn't have like a real life aspect to get out of this, like I wouldn't be doing it.
Yeah.
It's like I get to like talk with all these new people.
Yeah, if it were just numbers on a sheet, it'd be
exactly
boring,
like,
but instead it's people.
So instead I have the actual people who talk actual shit about me and my player.
Yeah.
And that's great.
You get actually cyberbullied.
I get both
Casually
me
doxed.
and my player get cyberbullied. Mostly me.
Yeah,
Man, I remember the good old days of when it was just my player who got ripped on.
I just got memed on constantly. What are you gonna
Like,
do?
how many players can say that they have an emoji that is their face? Not many.
That is true. How many players can say that they got doxxed and the only result was an emoji in the Discord?
Yeah, I mean, I'll consider that was a pretty good outcome.
Yeah. Man, I was so fucking scared that night. Like, I was so... I didn't go to bed until fucking, like, 6:30 because I was scared that, like, Acsolap was gonna post some shit.
Ascop was gonna come to your house and, like,
Your
fucking tickle
your
your feet.
profile is a lot more private than what you think it is. There's no prom pictures for a start. There's like a picture of you in Costa Rica, picture of your face, like a picture of you as a really young kid. I'm pretty sure.
You like pictures of me as a young kid?
Oh god, I shouldn't say that. I mean, I think it's like I said, man. I think there's definitely a lesson to be learned here in terms of like what kind of information you put on the internet. But like, I'm obviously not going to do anything stupid with.
Yeah, and then I got fucking doxxed by Nora and Waters in Hamilton, and they posted a bunch of my posts from like elementary and high school in the Discord.
I mean, I'm sure if I went back and looked at the first post I made on Facebook 10 years ago when I joined the website, I would cringe at them as well. So.
Has it been 10 years? It's been longer for me, I think.
I mean, I joined in the very early stages of it, so yeah, possibly longer.
Yep, same, actually. I joined like right after it went public. Well, not like publicly traded, but you know what I mean, like as soon as you didn't need a student email to sign in.
Oh really? Yeah. So I used a student email to sign into it.
Oh wow, yeah. So you were an earlier adopter than I. I was like one of the first kids in my high school that had one. Weird. A lot of people back then were still using MySpace.
I think I was a couple of years into university by that stage, so I mean, it would probably make sense considering our age difference.
Yeah. Yep. Jeez, man, that makes me feel old.
Wait, how far do we have to go to hit the 1 hour mark?
We got probably about another 15-20 minutes.
Oh, so
oh really? Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
we've been playing.
Well, I mean,
let's talk about the playoffs and.
Do you guys? I mean,
playoffs? You want to talk about playoffs?
Actually, the game is in 35 minutes, which is I don't know, for me it's a big deal. So.
But I have soccer.
What's more important, soccer or playoffs?
I'm not gonna miss soccer for I'm not gonna call it fake hockey. That's taboo.
No, SHL's real, motherfucker.
But like, no, I don't want to miss soccer.
Realer than anything you've ever done, pussy.
Wow. I just got a job, dude.
You got a job testing video games. It's like the least real world job I've ever heard of in my life.
The job's such a joke, they made a fucking comedy movie about it. Come on, bud.
I mean, look, Asclap, $13 an hour is $13 an hour, like...
Not bad.
Yeah, it's like I don't care. Okay, I do care what I'm doing if I make that money, but
When I was your age, probably because inflation has changed a little bit. I was
Yeah.
making when I was 20, I was making about $7.50 an hour.
yeah, I mean, like when I first started doing work like 3 years ago, the minimum wage was like almost $2 lower.
Yeah, yeah, it's true. Minimum wage has kind of shot up of late.
Yeah, I think it's 12. Oh wait, shit, exchange rates.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Never mind. Never mind. Inflation hasn't changed that much.
We're using different currency.
Yeah, they use the Canadian dollar. I use the old American buckaroo.
The Canadian dollar's like worth way less than the American
Yeah.
now. I remember
Oh, really? Wow.
I remember back in the day they used to be like almost even.
Yeah, they were.
I love
what
how
we-
you call back in the day when I lived in fucking British Columbia.
they used to be what we would say on parity, but now it's back to I don't know the exact exchange, but it's
0.77.
probably about
Yeah, it's like almost
$7
it's almost
dollars to
7
10 Canadian.
Yes, just
Wow, that's a big difference.
yeah, I mean, like I remember it used to be like 94 cents American was $1 Canadian,
Yeah,
and it was like at the point where they were like almost interchangeable.
yeah, that was probably about. That was actually only a few years ago, I think, too.
Yeah,
5
it
years
wasn't
ago
that
or
that
so.
long ago.
I mean, when I travelled down to Dallas to watch the hockey there, I'm pretty sure my Canadian dollars got me almost identical American dollars in exchange. So
So
Oh, excuse me. Anyway, playoff hockey. You want to talk about playoffs?
what'd you say? What'd you say? Excuse me about? I didn't hear anything.
Oh, I burped.
Oh, okay.
I had a pretty exciting day. I threw up, took a shower, ate some pizza, and now I'm here doing a podcast.
In what order?
That order. It was a narrative,
Yeah.
Gabe.
All right, just making sure.
well, I think we got the potential for the other three series to be decided in the game in what, half an hour or so.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, we do have the potential for the series to be
we're
decided.
winning games this time.
Well, I
Like,
mean, yeah, if we beat Detroit, touch every piece of wood in my house, then we'll go through. I don't know who we'd be playing though, because the Whalers and the Outlaws are both up in their series as well. I'm guessing if the Raiders go through,
wait,
they
no. Oh, wait. Oh yeah, the Raiders are.
The Raiders they beat
Yeah.
St. Louis, which is kind of a surprise.
Oh yeah, wait. Did they sweep them?
No, they lost the first one and then they won 4 in a row.
Oh, okay. Damn.
That's
I mean, we had a
How
pretty
the
good
fuck did that
regular
happen?
season record against the Raiders. Although we won't play them in the next round, seeing as I think they're the bottom
Yeah.
seed of
So,
the.
oh no. Okay, I know what that means.
I think. Wait, well, I don't know. I think that would mean the Outlaws. The Outlaws
No,
progress, right?
No, we'd get the Whalers again, provided they make it through.
Are you sure? Who
Yeah,
can-
because it's the two middle teams that play each other, and then the top team and the bottom team, right?
Hey, you just asked a really interesting question, Acsolap, which is, are you sure? I am not sure about literally anything ever. There's sometimes when people ask me my name and I'm like, Dan?
Wait, what?
Well, I mean, you got it right, so there you go. No, we would be playing the Outlaws if they go through.
Wait, why?
No,
Why not?
wait. The Raiders would be playing the Outlaws.
Yeah, exactly, because Raiders are the bottom team, so
Oh, shit,
Outlaws.
that would mean
Yeah,
Fuck.
the
Whalers.
rematch.
Man, you know what? Like, if we can get past the Falcons, we can get past the Whalers.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I mean, playing the Whalers would be funny again because like most of Hamilton is located in Detroit and Vancouver.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's funny.
I think like all of the Hamilton players that are currently all the Hamilton locker room people that are in the juniors are either on Detroit or Vancouver, except for
Detroit
Halsey,
has that
who's on
pipeline.
Montreal.
I guess because Waters has been kind of
Well,
reasonably.
Tig and Waters are both the GMs in Detroit, so
Yeah, so I guess there's like some kind of SMJHL affiliation just because of who's in whose locker room. I'm actually kind of surprised. I mean, we have quite a few prospects that went to Buffalo.
yeah.
I guess mostly because ML never has any picks with Toronto, and I don't know, for whatever reason, JY doesn't seem to pick up players.
That's okay.
Yeah. I mean, like JY of Manhattan just came second last, and he doesn't even have a pick.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what happened with Manhattan. I definitely had them making the playoffs this season. I thought that they would be quite.
I think they got the short end of the stick from Simon, is what I understand.
Yeah, they had a pretty good season last year.
I mean, yeah, but
Wasn't
like,
I mean,
okay,
you know,
luck
not
comes
like
into it for sure, but like they were terrible. Like they didn't even just miss out. I think they missed out. They had 5 games left in the season and they were already eliminated. I think.
Yeah, because I remember looking at the stats for last season, and Manhattan had a really big improvement over the previous year. So not like a crazy season or anything, but compared to the last year, it was a big improvement. So I just kind of expected them to trend upwards.
Well, man, they were 19 points out. But Buffalo came 5th with 58 points, and Manhattan were dead last with 39.
Rough.
Yeah.
I mean, they got some really good players on there. Like JY's players, they're a great player, and they've got Luke in Alaska.
JY already has a player in the Hall of Fame, right?
Yeah, one of his goalies. I mean, he's played a few goalies. I don't know. I guess he's a it's a bit of a masochist, I guess.
Goalie whisperer.
I don't know. I couldn't play goalie. I don't think. I kind of need to see my player doing something.
Oh, I mean,
which
yeah,
is unfortunate.
you have metrics. You know, you have stuff that you can see your player doing visibly as a goalkeeper.
I mean, Simon seems. I don't know. He's like Gabe Johnson. He just flips a coin.
Just flips a coin sometimes.
I mean, look at Thomas. He's like one game lets in 3 goals on 6 shots, and then the next game becomes like a fucking brick wall.
Yep. You never know which Thomas you're gonna
get.
It's
been so frustrating. Like, of all the things on the team, like him and probably Raph the most actually. Like, couldn't get Raph to score any points. Couldn't get Thomas to save anything.
Yeah, for real.
That is kind of the most frustrating thing about Simon T is like.
It really seems like the streak mechanics are a little bit overdone.
Yeah, like you'll just have like, you know, odd game, normal game, you know, nothing substantial, and then you just get fucking blown out the next one. You know, normal game. Like I don't know. There's no sense going over it. Everybody here knows exactly what it is.
It's like there's never like any. I feel like that's kind of the problem of the whole thing being like a number generator, right? Like it takes stats and stuff into account, but like, you know, like if you take into account everything that goes into play in hockey, like Simon is just it's like a wireframe of it.
Yeah, when you look at the like, I don't know, I'm probably way off because like I don't have Simon T. You guys both do, I think.
I do, yeah. I don't know how it works, so.
Like, I don't know. I know Football Manager and their engine inside and out just because I've been playing it for like fucking 10 years. And I don't know dick all about Simon T, but like in Football Manager, everything is interconnected. Like every stat interacts with every other stat, you know. And so it's like you can look at a player on the opposing team and like look at their stats and go like, oh shit, this guy's like 6'4", he's got a jumping of, you know, 16, and he's got like 14 strength. He's going to be a really big aerial threat on headers. So I want to make sure we play low to the ground this game, you know. Like I want to make sure my defense tries to keep the ball on the ground. You can like interact with it much more, whereas Simon T seems more like just, you know, shit.
Well, there's more limited metrics. I mean, size really has very little to do with it.
Yeah.
And also because he won't really explain the ins and outs of the engine to anybody. A lot of what people kind of believe to be the gospel is really their own theories.
Right.
You can talk to Tommen or Jay White or my GM JR, and they all have a different opinion on the way things work and kind of the way things should be done. Some of them like to test them, some of them don't.
Yeah.
Like,
a lot of it's probably based on confirmation bias.
I mean, like, I've had lines where one season, like, with a certain strat, they kill it, and then I just use the same strat the next season, and they don't do anything. So, it's kind of... It is a bit guesswork. And there is kind of theory that you can use in terms of, like, pass first and shoot first and defensive mechanics and stuff like that. Like, there's lines that you probably know just won't work, and then there's lines that you kind of will be like, well, there's a good chance that they do work, but there's no guarantee.
Yeah, I don't know. Like the way the stats interact with each other isn't exactly intuitive, because like I made a question about puck handling and like what exactly puck handling does, and I think I got like 5 different answers.
Well, I can give you a pretty solid answer if you like.
Yeah, hit me with it. What does puck handling do according to Acsolap?
Well, I mean, if you actually read like the in-depth game logs, you'll notice that people with low puck handling they'll miss passes, or they'll misplace more passes. There's actually like there's a written prompt where people receive the puck from a pass and then fumble it. So obviously puck handling helps with that.
Right.
I mean, the big part for a defenseman, and this is where me having a puck handling weakness when I created Rex Kirkby probably meant that my draft stock wasn't as good as it possibly could have been, which I guess was good for ML. It really helps with blocking shots.
Right.
Because I guess you wave your stick around a bit more accurately, I guess, who knows. But I definitely noticed that once I got my puck handling, like, my player just kind of performed at a better level.
Yeah. That was a big shift for me too. As I shifted from dumping points into passing, and then somebody's like, "You should put some points into puck handling," and I was like, "I don't see what that's gonna do," because my whole idea is like, don't handle the puck and instead pass it as soon as you get it, And they're like, "No, like if you want to do anything, you need puck handling." So I was like, "Oh, okay." And then I've noticed I'm like noticeably blocking way more shots than before, and
yeah, I mean, the defensive defenseman spec is kind of a weird one.
Yeah, it is.
I've heard it's just generally like way like less advantageous to make a defensive D-man in general.
I mean, you can make them. The problem is that like when people think defensive defenseman, they just think of like kind of a massive dude just crushing bodies. And while hits are useful in Simon T, like just having a wrecking ball doesn't really like lend itself to being an important member of the team.
Yeah, definitely.
So like the defensive, like I think Artie actually used to have a defensive defenseman, and he kind of played it more like we do with our two-way and our offensive defenseman, where he didn't focus on checking. But I think he had strength, puck handling, and defense, or something like that as his strengths. So he was just a big, strong guy, and he had like obviously, I mean, scoring's always got to be a weakness. So you just kind of have to accept that you'll. But I mean, at the same time, like I know I scored goals when I had scoring as a weakness, because I've made 2 strength changes, weakness changes, which don't do that because it's bloody expensive.
Oh god, how much is it?
8 million to change it after your first time.
Wait, to change 1?
No, I think you can change the whole lot, but I just wanted to change scoring from being my weakness to checking.
It's like I can afford that, but like.
I mean, positional change is 12 mil. Obviously, even more expensive.
Yeah, because I went kind of the same way too, where I have only 65 checking, but 75 puck handling, I think 70 strength, 75 passing. But like for me, a defensive defenseman isn't like in my mind, it isn't a big guy going around laying out hits. it's a guy like Dan Girardi, who, you know, he's doesn't have a lot of flash. You never really notice him when he's playing, but like he's always in a good position. He's, you know, airs himself out for the team, puts himself in front of pucks and stuff. He positions himself well, and you know, he's a big dude. You know, it's hard to play around him. That's kind of like what I wanted Darnell to be. Is like,
Yeah.
Well, I think Jenny's defenseman was defensive defenseman. Mia Landvik, and you know, she's a legend. She had a pretty respectable career as well. Like, still was never putting away loads and loads of points, I don't think, but she was getting like 25 points a season.
Yeah.
So
that's
you know,
crazy,
if you can stay on the ice and stop the puck going in the net,
yeah,
like you're still a valuable member to your team. And the reality is that Simon pretty much prioritizes forward scoring a lot of the time anyway. You know, most teams have one defenseman on the team who will score 40 plus points, maybe. But the majority of defensemen...
God, I wish that were me.
Yeah, well, we got Kalevi. I think he was leading defenseman in scoring in the J for a while.
Well, I mean, if he does end up staying down another season, he'll quite easily break the record for the highest scoring point defenseman in Anchorage in PGF history.
Am I gonna play on a duo with him?
Man, the weird thing is that you only seem to play well with Darnell.
Wait, really? I thought the whole meme was that we played like shit this season.
I mean, well, you guys...
We picked it up,
I
though.
kind of put you... I mean, unfortunately, it's the same thing like for you two as it is for Stav, Larson, and Delcott, is that we just didn't perform very well at all when we were putting our best players... Not to say that you guys aren't our best players, because you're both cap teammates, but on the top pairing. But Ford and Cahoon were scoring more points than you, so it made kind of sense, which is also why I dropped effectively our top line down to our second line, so that I kind of took the brunt of people's best players on our kind of secondary players, and then it allowed our players who were scoring more points to kind of go up against slightly weaker opposition.
Right.
Yeah, I noticed myself that later in the season I was picking up more assists, you know, playing on essentially the same line and everything.
I mean,
the plus minus was bad, but we started out terribly. Like, we were never really going to make up that ground. I think over the second half of the season, like, you guys were gradually moving.
Man, even when we were playing well, my plus minus is somehow going down. I don't understand.
Yeah, plus minus doesn't actually mean a whole ton to me. Like, it's a nice indicator, like a general indicator of like performance over the season, of course. But
it's
like,
a fun like banter stat.
Yeah.
Because it's easy just to see someone's negative plus minus to go, ha, you suck at defending.
But you know, like last year, what do you call it? The first line or the first pair defense. They had a really rough time of it last year too. We benefited by being the second.
Ford and Kalevi?
Yeah, it was Ford and Kalevi.
Well, I mean, Sins and Kahunen, when they played together, I think they had like almost record positive plus minus. But
and then Ford had like a ridiculously bad one.
Haven't really managed to get them to play that well again together. Although we did have EJ's defenseman as like our top D-man, and she, I don't know, her build, for whatever reason, Simon loved it because she was pretty consistently scoring a lot of points.
Yeah, just compared to last year in general, we had, you know, not so great of a season, and that's okay.
Wait, Waters might jump in to do the outro.
Oh, Waters is going to do our outro for us?
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, we're right there, man.
Hey, what's up, Waters?
Hey, just want to say thanks for listening to the podcast. It's been a real pleasure talking to you guys the last hour. I had a lot of fun. That's all I have to say. What about you guys? How are you guys doing?
Yeah, I mean, we're pretty much just getting ready to wrap up. You know, we're reminiscing about the season as a whole.
Waters, do the outro.
That was the outro.
That was the outro.
Why would
That
you
was a
ask us
fantastic
how we're
outro.
doing after the outro?
I just want to make sure how you do. I don't know.
It's like you don't bring someone on a talk show and go like, oh, okay, this has been our guest. Oh, how are you doing today?
It was really tough. I had to improvise an outro, all right? Like,
Okay,
you need to understand, like, what's the easiest situation for me.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, good outro, dude.
Yeah, good outro, man. 10 out of 10.
Considering
I
the
feel like-
limitations I put myself under, I think I did a great job.
Yeah.
Great job, Waters, man. You
Thank you.
killed it, bro.
Yeah,
Thank
like
you.
a
Thank you
child
very
wandering
much.
into a movie theater. You had no context, but you did it anyway.
I feel like your guys' podcasts have been so smooth until the one that I've been the guest on.
No, it's been
No,
great, man.
not at all.
We had considerably less material planned for this one, so it's been more
To be fair,
freestyle for sure.
we never had hotdog jump into one before.
Yeah,
but-
that was pretty
Oh, that
great.
is going to be a surprise bonus for anyone who actually listens to the whole thing.
Yeah, for real. Put a timestamp on it.
Yep. No, I will. I'll timestamp special guest appearance by Hotdog. I mean, we have to because like we have to pay him. I mean, what he was in
Oh,
here
you've
for
got to
about.
pay Waters now as well.
Yeah, that's right.
Ah,
Fuck.
shit.
Pay me now.
Okay, Waters, you'll get
I'm
a
really-
cut.
Yeah, I need that.
Yeah, you want like a total eyesore on your bank account?
Yeah, give me like about I don't know.
14,000.
14,000 sounds like a great number. I'll take it.
Okay,
I mean, we
sure.
GMs need it, man. They don't pay us anything, so...
Wait, what if Waters joined after the hour mark?
Wait,
Well, I mean...
I'll come in anyways. Man. Please.
Alright, well.
I have soccer like now, so I have to leave.
Alright, yeah, let's go ahead and.
Hey,
All right.
hey, it's been
Okay.
great
Alright,
talking
Thanks
to you.
for listening, everybody.
Thanks for the
Hey.
chat, boys.